This video contains commentary. What's crack-a-lackin', my little deuterinos? Welcome back to Storytime with your favorite Reddit fairy. Today, I've got a special happy birthday episode for a special subscriber that has been there from practically the beginning. She really likes these subreddits, and I can't say I blame her. So, without further ado, we're gonna get into some r/StoriesAboutKevin and r/Am I the Asshole. So smash that subscribe button, and let's get right into it. The Kevin Outbreak, posted by user CrazyCoKids. I work in a place that has one of the highest restaurant-to-house ratios in the world. Despite this, everyone only seems to want to eat here, and we are evidently the only place open between the hours of 2 and 4, especially on Thursdays, as we are always lined to the door. And sure enough, we have an outbreak of coronavirus, Kevinizing fasciitis, brainworms, and Kevinform encephalitis. Because many of these people are D-U-M-B. Within literally 15 minutes, I had to 1. Explain that this is not McDonald's, so we don't accept their coupons. We don't even sell burgers. What the fuck? 2. Explain that parking citations are not a valid form of payment. 3. Explain that the turkey sandwich does not have pork. 4. Tell people that vaping is included in the ban on smoking indoors, as said by the sign not less than a foot next to them. 5. Had a Kevin try to get into the bathroom when I was in there by repeatedly trying to open the locked door and didn't seem to realize what a locked door means. On many days, I wonder how these people make it out the front door in the morning. Why is it that the one that gets me is explaining a turkey sandwich doesn't have pork? Do they think what? I'm really curious to know what the thought process is behind that one. And I totally can understand seeing, kids pulling on the bathroom door when it's locked multiple times, thinking maybe they're just not doing it right. But it just goes to show the mind of a Kevin is very childlike. Alright, my dudes, let's get into the next story. But before I do, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for future videos just like this one. Let's get it. This one is called My Roommate Was a Kevin, posted by user Nakami Faro, I think? Many years ago, I had a roommate. We shared a house for only 6 months, but with a Kevin, 6 months can be a lifetime. These were some of the things he did. He never read the instructions of any device he bought. He bought a professional iron, which has a separate water tank. He went to work with wrinkled clothes until 3 weeks later, I told him that he had to screw the iron to the water tank where the plug was. Yes, he spent 3 weeks ironing with an unplugged iron. He brought the technician of the internet company many times because the Wi-Fi didn't work. Every time, his dog had eaten the antenna, refused to discipline or protect it. The damn dog ate the plug 3 more times, in addition to my computer charger, 2 lenses, 2 TV controllers, and a car seat. He only took the time to train him when his girlfriend forced him. The car was his. He spent hours watching online videos of do-it-yourself. Then he felt able to disassemble the carburetor from his car to clean it. He still doesn't understand why I removed his car keys when he showed me the parts that were left after reassembly. He tried to sharpen the kitchen knives with a radial. He only managed to run out of fingerprints on 2 fingers and break 2 of my best knives. I'm a chef. He got angry because I insisted on disconnecting the electric power when he tried to change the kitchen sockets because he couldn't see what he was doing. My answer was, "Change them in the morning, idiot." We had noisy neighbors for a while. Their solution was to buy a horn, very loud, and spend the night playing it. The rest of the neighbors called the police. They still don't understand why they fined them for repeatedly honking at 3 in the morning. A classic. He burned 2 microwaves trying to soften the butter, without taking it out of the package. He insisted on cleaning everything with pure bleach, then threw liters of air freshener without opening the windows so that no dirt entered, and all his pants had faded marks of his hands on the back. He had trouble getting up in the morning, playing online at night, and working early in the morning. Terrible combination. So he bought an alarm clock that sounded like a song of a rooster. The neighbors called the police again. The only one on the street who didn't wake up was him. I never told him, but I threw it out the window. He never understood the difference between dishwashing machine soap and soap to wash dish by hand, even after flooding the kitchen twice. At Christmas, he put a box of champagne bottles in the freezer after telling him, two different people, why that wasn't a good idea. Of course, he forgot where he had stored them. Can you see where this ends? Someone tries to open his car instead of calling the police or storing the car in the garage. He spent a week sleeping in the car, in the street, in the middle of winter. He caught a big cold and, can you guess what? The neighbors called the police again. Wait, they called the police on him for getting a cold? I'm a little confused on that one. He made a barbecue on the balcony of the second floor, 1.5 times 1.5 meters, when we had a backyard and a large terrace in front. When I asked him, his answer was, "From the balcony I can see all the guests." Also, almost set the house on fire. Idiot. He thought that everything on the internet was true. He told me about the internet police. What the fuck? Monitoring and arresting everyone who cheated on the internet. Where he got that idea about the internet police is a complete mystery to me. And I still have 1,000 more things, each one crazier. Moved with his girlfriend 6 months later. I don't know how he got a girlfriend who, knowing him, wanted to live with him, but I'll always be grateful to that girl. I never shared a house with anyone until I married my DH 10 years later. Edit. Thank you for the kind reader who gave me gold. My greatest pleasure is that you have a good time with my stories of the Kevins of my life. I have many. I am a magnet for them. Yes, I think I am too, to be honest. Every single time I start a new job, the Kevin always gravitates towards me. It's just, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I'm a girl and it's just a guy thing and he just has no inhibitions whatsoever. Could be. Who knows? I don't know. This makes me really feel fearful for his family though, because the guy didn't even know to turn off the power when you're changing a socket or whatever it was he was changing that had to do with electricity. Whew, Kevin, just hire somebody, okay? Alright, now we're going to get into some Am I the Asshole? This one is called Am I the Asshole? We didn't go to my daughter's wedding because she had it at a vineyard and her dad is a recovering alcoholic. Posted by user Patiently Waiting 1478. My daughter is 31. Growing up, my husband was an alcoholic. He was never physically violent, but he could be cranky when drunk. Most often, he just wasn't as present and active a parent as he could have been. He tried treatment several times, but unfortunately relapsed with only a few months of sobriety in between. Fortunately, 2 years ago, he went back to inpatient treatment and has been sober ever since. My daughter got married a year ago, at which point he was 1 year sober. However, he still felt fragile enough in his sobriety that he did not feel comfortable around alcohol. The problem? My daughter, our only child, had booked her wedding venue, ceremony, and reception at a vineyard. There was going to be wine everywhere and a fully open bar. When she booked it, he'd been sober for 4 months. We begged and pleaded with her to change venues, offering to cover any related fees, but she refused. About a month before, I told her we couldn't come if she had it there, and she absolutely exploded. She called him a worthless drunk, shitty father, me a terrible mom, and an enabler who loves mothering him more than being a mother to her own kid. She left, despite being extremely hurt. I called her and said we'd love to take her and her husband for a beautiful dinner and watch the wedding video and look at pictures afterwards. She basically said if we didn't come, she's done with us. We didn't go. I didn't feel right leaving my husband home, knowing he'd be incredibly sad to miss his daughter's day, and knowing she'd probably never speak to him again. Since then, she's gone totally no contact with us. I've even tried sending letters to her via her in-laws, but they just return them to us saying they don't want to get involved. I found out my daughter was pregnant from a childhood friend of theirs. I'm heartbroken every single day and don't feel like anyone understands. Am I the asshole? Okay, so this is interesting. So this is your daughter. So there's going to be alcohol at any wedding, any venue, any reception hall you go to. There's going to be alcohol there. This is your daughter's day. Like, she should be able to have her day the way she wants it. It's not about you guys. You guys could just go to the ceremony and go home. Like, you don't have to go to the reception after. Show some restraint. Everybody's saying they're not the asshole, but I'm sorry. I think everyone is the asshole in this one. Maybe I'm gonna get my ass chewed out in the comments, but I kind of think everybody's the asshole because you're gonna have alcohol no matter which venue you're at. Vineyard or not. Yeah, you're probably gonna have a hell of a lot more at a vineyard, but you know what I'm saying? Like, am I wrong? I don't know. I think everyone's the asshole here. That's just my opinion, but maybe the daughter a little more so, since she completely... you know what? I don't even think that. I don't know what to think about this one, because I'd be pretty pissed if my parents refused to go to my wedding. I mean, there's not typically drinking at the actual wedding. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just seems kind of a shitty thing to do. I don't know. It's shitty on both their parts, I think. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think below? Maybe even head on over to this post. I'll leave the links to the description in the comments below. As always, for all the stories, you guys can go and comment on them, let them know your opinion, upvote, all that fun stuff. So let's get into the last story of the day, my dudes. I know I've only got 4 for you today, but yeah, my computer's just being a dick, so I'm just gonna keep it short today and a little less headachy for me to edit. I apologize, but I'll have a longer Choosing Beggar episode for you guys tomorrow, I promise. This one is called, Am I the Asshole for Telling My STB Ex-Husband He Will Not Be Allowed in the Birthing Room? Posted by user Going to Be a Mama. I'm a 30-year-old female and 30 weeks pregnant with mine and my STB's ex-husband. What is STB? Soon to be. Okay, gotcha. Who's a 31-year-old male's daughter. She will be my first child, but it turns out she won't be his first child. He's been carrying on an affair that started several years ago during my residency in internal medicine and cardiology. His excuse was, I was working long hours and not emotionally available, so I drove him to it. I found out about the affair because the woman with the child came home to our home 2 months ago demanding I release him from our financially abusive and loveless marriage. I guess you could say I ambushed him because I called him and told him he needed to come home. When he did, and he saw her, I knew, based off of his reaction, that he had been cheating. So I kicked him and all his stuff out of the house. In my book, I granted his wish. He had asked for another shot that we could go to marriage counseling, but he has had years to come clean and didn't, so I am unwilling to attempt reconciliation. He's been calling and leaving messages at home, my cell phone, as well as the hospital where I was working, asking if he could be with me when I go into labor. I've told him in no uncertain terms that he will not be allowed in or anywhere near my birthing room. I want people in there that I trust, and he isn't it. He's been guilt-tripping me through, saying he has a right to see his child be born, that his fuck-up is separate from our daughter. And it is, but I don't want the added stress of him being present. His family and he all think that I'm the asshole and already alienating him from his child. My family and most friends support me. However, there are a few who think I'm being an asshole here. Maybe I am because of the hurt he has caused me. TLDR, found out soon-to-be ex-husband has been cheating for years and I've banned him from the birthing room. Edit. For those worrying about alimony, we have a prenup in place, which by him cheating, he is in full violation of. He is therefore not entitled to any alimony. He is on his own, a mechanical engineer, and though he doesn't make nearly as much as I do as a cardiologist, he can more than afford to take care of himself financially without my help. Edit. We do not live in the US, for those wondering. I graduated secondary, or high school, at 16, completed uni, or college, at 20, finished medical school at 24, and completed my residency at 28. My country does not require doctors to enter fellowship programs. Edit. Let me make this perfectly clear, as it has continuously come up. I will not, under any circumstances, keep him from having a relationship with his daughter. I am completely agreeable to share custody, and to him seeing her after she has been born. Okay, no, not the asshole. Definitely not the asshole. Why would you want somebody in your room with you? in the most stressful situation of your life, probably. I'm sorry, but childbirth has probably got to be pretty damn stressful. Not that I would know, but come on. You're at your most vulnerable. You think you want somebody that did you dirty like that in the same room with you when that's happening? No, that guy hasn't had shown you any kind of trustworthiness. He needs to get the fuck far away from that birthing room because he does not deserve to be there. Sure, let him have a relationship with his kid, but I'm sorry, that whole having the baby part is for the mother. Like, that's the bonding experience of the mother. It's got nothing to do with you, really. You're just there so she can break your bones while she's pushing this baby out. That's it. So don't get too much in your head there about what kind of role you really play in that birthing room. Yep, this guy's a dog and he deserves to stay in the doghouse. And that's all I'm going to say about that, my dude. So I hope you liked this episode. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe and turn on notifications and all that fun stuff that all us YouTubers always ask you to do because, I mean, it does help us out. So if you do that, we really appreciate it. But you don't have to. As always, the links to these stories will be in the description. So head on over to Reddit and show those posters some love with some upvotes. You know they deserve it. And yeah, you guys, I hope you have a fan-fucking-tabulous day. And I will see you in tomorrow's Choosing Beggars episode. Peace out, homies.